Okay, so I do like Roman Dolidze against Anthony Smith better than Anthony Smith facing Carlos Ulberg because I feel like Carlos would have made very quick work of Anthony Smith. Just because you watch Anthony Smith's last fight against Vitor Petrino, and that guillotine was a Hail Mary that saved him from what would have been a very one-sided beatdown. Like watching that whole, 2 minutes before he finally got that guillotine, I felt like the universe was giving Anthony Smith the way out because obviously you could just tell by Anthony's fights that he's definitely not the same guy that was fighting John Jones. Now, I know a lot of people were like, oh, he lost to John Jones. Who really hasn't? Until John Jones fought Dominic Reyes, no one was questioning him. But Anthony Smith against Roman Dolidze, I feel is just safer on his part. Because Roman isn't quite the up-and-comer Vitor was. Anthony Smith needs that. Or he needs someone like Dominic Reyes or maybe even not Johnny Walker. We already know how that went. But maybe Dominic Reyes in the future just as a send-off fight. Because Anthony's paid his dues for the company. I know he doesn't want to retire, but at least people like me I know who aren't just trying to be internet trolls and who are actually just trying to do integral journalism on this channel where we talk about the statistics and where they're at fight-wise. I feel like Anthony Smith should just start hanging it up because outside he's got a family, he's got other things going on, and definitely he's made a name for himself in society. So once MMA is over for him, he's got other ways of making money. Now, a lot of people like to give Anthony Smith a lot of grief. And you know what? I've heard some of the interviews where he says John Jones really isn't that good. And it's like, dude, that's just kind of cope at that point. And sometimes he doesn't want to look at the obvious writing on the wall. But you got to put yourself in his shoes. When you've made your living fighting, how do you give up what has made your living? How do you give up the one thing that has been the main primary thing that you've known your entire life? It's very hard. I'm going to be real. It is really hard. And I think Roman Dolidze just might be a close fight where they can go to decision and then hopefully someone comes out on top. But I just think no matter what, Anthony Smith should probably think about tossing in the gloves in the center of the ring just to help himself out a little bit because that Vitor fight, like I said, that guillotine saved him. He wasn't winning that fight until he won it. Vitor looked like he was just way significantly stronger and was going to handle Anthony and probably finish it in the first round at 3 minutes in had that guillotine not landed. I think Vitor just got a little arrogant. But Roman, you're looking at who he's lost to. He's lost to Nasruddin Imavov and Marvin Vettori by decision. Two very good guys. At the same time, I think that puts him in a fair stratosphere to where the point where I think it had to land on this matchup because from a matchmaker's perspective, this just made more sense than a fight against Carlos Ulberg because seeing what Ulberg's been doing in his fights, just dispatching guys at 205, he's on the come up, and I really just hope someone like Anthony Smith in his state right now doesn't get hit by that train. We don't want to see that. But I know it's a bit of a brutal honesty take, but I'm just glad it played out this way. And I really just hope Anthony Smith does the right thing, to be honest. But we'll see later.